4. Hey Jackson, how's it going? I'm doing an unboxing today. I got my 6 Sense Super 6-sack. I think this is the Pro version, and I got the standard bag. They both came in, so I'm gonna break those open and show them to you guys. Hey Braden, how you doing? Braden's on. We were talking Saturday. You weren't on, but we were talking about your wrecked car there. Your wrecked race car, Braden. JB, hey man. Looks like you've been getting some fishing in. Hey Mike. I got 2 sacks. 2 sacks in the mail. So I was going to show you both of them. We'll wait for a couple more people to hop on first. Right on. I just hit 2,000 subs. You're right, G4. So 3,000 more and we'll be giving away the reel. Yeah, we've been having some storms. Little rain here and there. For sure. It's that time of year, man. Springtime. We get storms and lightning and tornadoes. So how many of you guys get the Super 6-sacks? Any of you get them? I know, I think Yeti does, because I think he said that he already got his. Two sacks. Yeah, better than Santa, Mike. You're right. This is the first time I've gotten a red one. A red sack. But it seems like I get a lot of blacks. But let's see. The standard sack has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. And the Super Pro sack has a lot more than that. Chewbacca. What's up, man? This one here, the KVD Smoke that Job won. We're giving it away again. Hopefully for good this time. When we hit 5,000 subscribers. All right, let me show you some of the stuff that's in this standard sack while we're talking here. First up is 4/0 EWG Stout wide gap hooks. Stout meaning heavy duty, I guess. They look smaller than 4/0 actually, but it says they're 4/0. There's 5 in a pack here. From what I've heard, their hooks are pretty good. Then the old hybrid, Divine hybrid jig. This hybrid big jig we've talked about before, but it's a combination of a swim jig and a flipping jig, maybe. Maybe you guys know what the combo is. Supposed to be able to use it for multiple presentations. So thing to remember about any jig is when they call it a football head or a flipping jig or an arky, they're always talking about the head. So when they say hybrid jig, they're talking about the shape of this head. It's got ribs on it. It's got kind of a flat bottom. And it has a line tie that goes in line with the lure. And usually if you're wanting a jig that gets through grass well, you want to make sure your line tie runs the same direction as your jig. You don't want your line tie going this way if you know you're going to be fishing in a lot of grass and stuff like that. But if you're in open water, that works just fine. So this color is it's a pretty subtle color. You can see it's kind of like got a natural colors, and then it has a couple of strands of blue in it. That color is called Grass Mutant. Blind to Binda, how you doing? Rocco, how's everybody doing? Fisherman 83. So the hybrid jig is kind of a good all-around jig. If you could only have one type of jig, you might think about this hybrid jig if you can only afford one. Because say if you bought just a football head, football jigs work terrible in grass. They work pretty good in rock. Well, this hybrid jig would work good in grass, but you could also work it in rock. It might get hung up a little more than a football head, but so that's kind of what I think they're doing with the hybrid is we're going to give you one jig that solves several problems. The Divine Hybrid Jig. Okay, tomorrow night I'm going to do my longer live. Instead of Thursday night, I'm doing it tomorrow night. And we'll do it at 7. And that's when we'll give away this H2O Express box, terminal tackle box. And we'll be a lot longer. All right, here's a couple other things. This has been in the bag quite a bit lately, the Snatch 70X. And this is a good lipless crankbait. This color is called Chrome Bacon. We'll take it out of the box. I know you guys like to see them out of the box. Kick Your Bass. How you doing, man? Chrome Bacon. It's chrome. It's got a blue back. And it's got a little bit of, it's kind of hard to see on the screen, orange. It's not bright orange. It's almost like a peachy orange. And it rattles. A lot of little BBs in the snatch. Doing good. Thanks, Kick Your Bass. Hey, Eric. How's it going, man? We just started. We've only been on for 8 minutes. I am showing everybody the 2 Super 6 sacks I got in the mail. The standard is what I'm going through now, and then I'm going to go through the pro bag, the pro sack. Stroker Cross. Green Pumpkin Burst. Green Pumpkin Burst. Eric just got done slaying it today. Check out Green Pumpkin Burst. That's a good color. That's a very natural looking color, but it's got some fleck in it like you might see in a Candy Craw color. Maybe just a little more subtle. So, Eric, when you say got done slaying it, tell us what's your count up to? Some of you guys are catching up with me, maybe even beat me. Fisherman 83, I think, man, you might be up there. I got 84 so far. All right, that's the Stroker Craw, and here's something new. I've never gotten this in a 6-cent super sack yet. The Vega Frog 70. This is a black one. The Vega, which is a popping frog, it looks like. We'll open the package here so you guys can look at it. How are the green pumpkin baits? Never use that color. Braden, buddy, you got to use green pumpkin, man. It is an essential color, especially in clear water. Got my Super 6 sack today. It was a kettle meh for me. First time in 8 months that I wasn't super thrilled. Well, this is kind of a new hyped bait. Their Vega Frog. I like black frogs, so I probably will use this. Interesting, most popping frogs, if it's black, will have like a red cup, and they don't. They got black, but big red eyes. Any of you fished with the Vega frog yet? I have not. I've not tried it yet. I love frog fishing too. Kentucky Patriot. My favorite frog, though, as I've told several of you guys, has really become that launch frog by Scum Frogs. Man, I dig that frog quite a bit. John Gill, we missed you Saturday, man. And found that sports or something's coming back, because a lot of the kids that have been on Saturday nights, a lot of them were not on last week. My favorite frog is by Depths, the Slither K and Buster K. Matthew. Interesting. I've not tried any Depths frogs before. Yeah, Rocco. A lot of people cut the legs shorter, and I do as well. A lot of times I cut the legs shorter. A lot of times the legs, if they're too long, they affect the action, but they also they'll get hung up in the grass, and you don't need super long frog legs most of the time. Brewer caught 10. Eric Brewer caught 10 fish today, but won't complain since I was at 2 before today. All right, nice, man. So you've really bumped up your catch number. Biggest of the day was a 3-pounder, 19.5 inches, caught a PB bluegill, 12-inch bluegill, dude. That's a big bluegill. Matthew went fishing today, only caught crappie. All on a jerk bait. That's funny. JB likes the river to sea bullywah. I've got some river to sea frogs. I've never had a ton of luck on them. Probably because I just haven't fished them enough. Mike Ike uses the Depths frogs. Iconelli. Never tells anyone. It's like a secret he never shares. But I see it hanging off his rod in one of his videos. Interesting. I might check out the Depths frogs then. Okay, so I'm done with the standard sack. I'll show you real quick what was in there in case you weren't on. This Snatch 70 lipless. The Divine hybrid jig. The Stroker Craw, the EWG hooks, and the Vega frog. That was the standard. Now let's see how the Pro sack compares. Well, the sack's bigger, and it's bright red. Let's see. Favorite frog is Clear Kings. Yep, nice sack. All right, guess what? They got a black Vega frog. How about that? What a coincidence. So I got 2 black Vega frogs. Although one's eye is definitely redder than the other, but they look like the exact same frog. So I got 2 of them, so I'll put one of them in the miscellaneous bucket. There we go. Got one in the miscellaneous bucket now. I'm old school. Strike King frogs are your favorite. Well, hey, who can complain about Strike King? They make good stuff. All right, this is kind of cool. The Curve Finesse Square Bill. I've gotten this several times, but this is a brand new color for me. Natural crawfish. Check that out. Got to take this one out of the box. Braden got to go. Okay, Braden. See you, buddy. On Saturday, I'll show them pictures of your wrecked car, your wrecked Sprinter car. So there's the color. Interesting. Got kind of a blue belly. And then the sides are green, like an olive green with a bunch of yellow dots on it. And then it goes to a black back. That color is new to me. I've not seen it before. Finesse Square Bill. That is a very nice color. I agree. So what do I say they call that? They call it natural crawfish. Okay, that's that. Then we got the Provoke 106X jerkbait. This color is herring shad. My lights might be just a little too bright to see it. I'll take it out too. It's pretty much just white, but it's got like a gold stripe. If I can get the treble hook to come loose here. Oh, rats. Now I got the treble hook caught good. Can't wait for the 6 cents order to come in. Ordered the Vega Frog, Dark Water Pooch, the Axis Bluegill, Whale White, Flush Bluegill Magic, and a shirt. Dude, Eric, you went crazy. All right, so here's the Provoke out of the package. There, you can see it a little better. Look at those red gill plates. There's that yellow stripe I was telling you kind of along the top. Chartreuse stripe. And then kind of a off-color back. Check out those hooks, man. They put good hooks on their lures. They definitely do. All right, so that was the Provoke. Let's see what else we got going on here. Looks deadly, says Kentucky Patriot. Yeah, I agree. Looks pretty good. Another thing, I don't know if you guys have seen, probably a lot of you guys don't get it, but the Warriors Tackle monthly subscription box, they've got a new box now. I'm going to do a video on it separate. It came today as well. But they're making all their own lures now. They've got a few overstock still in their boxes, like Boyd Duckett crankbait and Monster Bass lure. But their new shtick is they're going to have Warriors Tackle baits, all Warriors Tackle lures. So I'll show you those on another video. The Major League Fishing box is coming out. I got an email today that said it's on the way. So I'll be sure to show you that when it gets here. Hey, Terry, how you doing? So that's the Provoke. All right. Then we got the Prawn in Bluegill Fire. Gonna have to take it out. It's hard to see that color. The Megabass Frog is pretty sick to the Big Gabbit. Here's some very good things about them, and they do work. And the one that looks like a fish, but forget the name. Glad to hear it, Terry. All right, so here's the Prawn in Bluegill Fire. Bluegill. I'm going to open this up because you can't really see. All right, so Bluegill Fire really looks very green pumpkin-y on this side. And then you turn it around, and it's got some orange in there, some copper. So this is a laminate. Whenever you hear anybody talking about a laminate bait, it just means there's like a line down the center, and there'll be one color on this side and one color on that side. That's a laminate. So this is a 2-color laminate lure. Really natural on one side, kind of bright and flashy on the other. I like that color, Bluegill Fire. Okay. We got some Divine swim baits as well. One thing that I thought of today that's kind of funny, I saw a post from one of the 6th Sense guys, you know, the 6th Sense YouTubers that have been out catching a bunch of big fish on that O.H. Ivy Lake. And they showed these 2 huge bass. He was holding them up saying, look at these ginormous bass. And he was saying, this is why you need to buy the Divine swim bait. And yeah, it wasn't Milliken, I don't think. I think it was one of the other guys, but Milliken was definitely one of them, Matthew. Well, you got to take this kind of stuff with a grain of salt. Don't just jump out and go buy a bunch of Divine swim baits because a guy pulls 2 huge bass and holds them up and says, go get Divine swim baits. You know, you're going to catch 2 10-pounders or 2 9-pounders. That's kind of misleading. Not to say that they didn't catch fish. They did catch fish on an A-rig with Divine swim baits like this. But what they don't tell you, which is absolutely true, you can catch huge fish on a on an umbrella rig, on an A-rig, with a bunch of different swim baits. It doesn't have to be the Divine swim bait. I'm not knocking the Divine swim bait. The Divine swim bait's fine. I mean, in fact, this looks like a great color here. This is a Ghost Ice Minnow. But this was not the secret to them catching those giant bass. The secret was finding them, using that live sight transducer, and throwing an A-rig. And probably any swim bait they put on that A-rig, they would have caught big, giant bass. So don't get fooled into thinking, I got to have that one. That's the one. I mean, that's what they want you to think for obvious reasons. They're trying to sell lures. But anyway, not like I said, these are great. These little swim baits, especially this size here, 3.2 inch would make a great trailer on a chatterbait. It would make a great little trailer on a spinnerbait. This also would be a great deal to put on a little ball head jig, and I guarantee you catch a lot of fish. And this size, great pond lure, this 3.2 inch. And this Ghost Ice Minnow is an awesome color. But it wasn't Divine. Divine had nothing to do with them catching those giant fish. And the only reason I tell you that is I used to get sucked into this stuff, and I still do at times, where a guy will just have an incredible day catching them on one specific lure, and I'll say, I got to go get that lure. But the reality is you're probably never going to duplicate what they did with the same lure. Not to say it's a bad lure. What kind of jig heads do you prefer on your rig? Man, kick your bass. I jump around all the time on my jig heads. I have a hard time finding A-rig jig heads that I really like a lot. But lately I've been using these ones by Kitech. They're small and they're tungsten, and I like them quite a bit. They got a nice hook on them. But I'm all over the board when it comes to swim bait jig heads for A-rigs in particular. Maybe some of the guys on here could tell you what they use. I just left a club over Live Target. The president said they should be outlawed, but he would use one if it were given to him. That was the most true thing I've heard a YouTuber say. Well, You guys know me. I'm not trying to sell you stuff. If I think it's a good deal, I'm going to tell you it's a good deal. If I think it's awesome, like you guys know, I absolutely love the Dark Sleeper. Why do I tell you that? Because I've caught so many fish on it, and it's fun to fish with. But you could go buy the Dark Sleeper and throw it, and you might not catch anything with it. I can't guarantee that. So just kind of remember, there's nothing. It's just like my wiggle warts. I love these things. They're incredible, but you could get one, and it may not catch you any fish at all. So don't get so sucked into thinking there is one single lure that's going to do it all for you. There's definitely types of lures, like a Senko type bait, a stick bait. You don't have to have the Senko brand. Just about any stick bait will catch you fish. But there are some times when that Senko is amazing. It's just amazing. Hey, Callaway, how you doing, buddy? Did you see Tactical Bassin came out with their own A-rig? No, John, I did not see that. But here again, so what? I mean, not to discount what you're saying, John, but there's no special super duper A-rig that's going to catch you fish. I mean, just go buy an A-rig. In fact, if you've never A-rigged, here's great advice. Go buy the cheapest A-rig you can find, and it will catch you fish. There's no super flashy, special, amazing A-rig that's going to just blow everybody away. And I'm not saying Tactical Bassin's A-rig's not good. It probably is good. Those guys know what they're talking about. They probably designed a great A-rig, but it's not going to, I would say go cheap on an A-rig because you're going to get them hung up. You're going to break them off. You're going to lose them. The cheaper you can get on the A-rig, the better. All right, let's see here. Next thing is the Thud 70. This is a great color, isn't it? Black Magic. Like those black lures. So if you notice in both bags, they gave me a lipless. One gave me the Snatch. The more expensive bag gave me the Thud. And the Black Magic color is a great color. You need a black lure. I don't know that you absolutely need a black lipless, but you definitely need a black crankbait. I would make sure you have some sort of a black square bill and then some sort of a regular black crankbait, because there's certain times when black really shines. One time when it shines is at nighttime. Another is super dirty water in the daytime. If you have super dirty water, a black crankbait works well. But look at that. That's a good looking bait. Got the little blue accents on it. Green eyes. And look at that. It's like bluegill color underneath. This is a great dirty water color. So you don't need a ton of black lures in your tackle box, but you need a few. Definitely need a few. Hey, Yeti Whisperer, man, we're about done. Guggen Slayer, how's it going? Catching them on the Provoke and the Crush 50X. Well, I got a Provoke in my sack here today. In my Pro sack, the bigger sack, I got the Provoke 106X. And the color was Herring Shad. Okay, is that all? Let's count, see how many we had here. We had the Vega Frog. We had the Thud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 items this time. Seems like there should have been one more, but let me just recap for you. Vega Frog, we got this in both sacks. Got the Quake. I mean, the Thud. We got the Quake in the other sack. We got the Divine swim baits. We did not get those in the standard sack. We got this cool Curve 55 color natural crawfish. That's a sweet color. We got the Provoke like I just showed you. And then we got this prawn. This is an excellent color. I really am going to like the color Bluegill Fire. And a super red sack. Anywho, that does it, guys. That's both sacks. My Provoke was from a sack last year called Electric Reaction. What do you think about that broken rod? Yeti Whisperer, man, that made me cry. How'd you break it anyway? Went out on the weekend and got skunked. John, that's sad. The water's still really cold where you're at, though, John, isn't it? Had a ball from a huge pike. Yeah, thanks, Terry. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. USPS did it for you. Speaking of USPS, I ordered a bunch of lures that I was going to use in a video from Dave's Custom Baits. They're called Rock Warriors. And the post office says they delivered them, but I never got them. Now, you know what happens in that case? Good luck trying to get your money out of the post office. And unfortunately, Dave's Custom Baits is a small company, and I don't think he's going to help me out at all. Another reason why you may not want to buy from small custom guys. Not that I don't want to support small custom guys, but if you buy from Tackle Warehouse and it gets lost, you're going to get your stuff. I don't know yet. They did not pay the insurance. Why did they say it's a risk you take when you're shipping a rod? They don't take any liability for broken rods. Roger got the yak out and caught 3. Nice. So what's your total for the year? You know what I started doing? I started shipping my rods in PVC instead of cardboard, and that seems to help. It's harder to break the PVC, and it's flexible. It bends a little more when they kind of go through the conveyors. But, yeah. All right, Roger, you got 4 on the board. All kinds of bull denied 3 times. I just gave up. Boy, that sucks. So the good thing about Loomis is they will replace your rod, no questions asked, no matter what, but you got to pay like $100 or something to get it replaced, right? Yeah, Roger. Just getting started. That's why I like to start very early in the spring. I like to hit the ponds first because, oh, good. Yeah, Yeti Whisperer. I've still got a handful of NRX rods that have the wild card. Have you ever seen that? The wild card's great. They will replace your rod, no questions asked, and it doesn't cost you anything. I've still got about 3 wild cards left. So that's pretty sweet. So anywho, like I said, I'm going to do a live tomorrow at 7 p.m. And that's going to be, even though it's Wednesday tomorrow, I'm going to start doing the Thursday night live on Wednesdays. So Wednesdays at 7, and then we'll keep doing the Saturday nights at 8. So tomorrow night, we're going to do the 7 o'clock one, and I'm going to give away the terminal tackle box. So that's about it, dudes. Check out a company called FX Rods. They have nice rods, heck of a warranty like All-Star. Yeah, kick your bass. Hop on, man. Love to have you on. Well, thanks for joining me tonight, guys. I'm not going to go very long. I got some stuff to do with the family. But good talking to you guys. Like I said, I'm going to show you the Warriors box. I've got the new Major League Fishing box coming. I'll show you that. And I also ordered another monthly box from Jewel Baits. And when it gets here, I'll show you that. I never could get the bento box, man. It sold out immediately. So we will never see the bento box on the channel, unfortunately. Thanks, Jeff. Have a good one. You guys have a good night. Thanks again for joining me. Really appreciate the support. Thanks for hitting the like button. And I will talk to you tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. See ya.